Welcome back to The Price of Business. I'm your host, Kevin Price, talking to you about you and your business on this busy Thursday here, already approaching the weekend. Been very hot lately. You know, the temperature, when you watch the weatherman, I don't even know why Houston have weathermen. It's going to, they can just say it's going to be hot or it's going to be hotter. But, other than that, not much help. Essentially, triple digits, we're being told over this weekend. Yikes. And so to help us through that whole process, I bring in Lance Malone, who's a contributor here on The Price of Business, and his company's called Standard Supply. And we have him on, not so much as the AC authority, although he is, but he's a guy who's connected with a lot of businesses out there, and I love for him to bring those businesses on and tell their story. So, Lance, before you introduce your guest, take a minute to tell us about Standard Supply and how we can get more information on it. And welcome, as always.
Thank you, Kevin. It's good to be here again. Standard Supply is a distributor of heating, air conditioning, ventilation, and refrigeration products. We have branches all over the state of Texas and a number of great customers here in the greater Houston area. And one of those who's with us today is Ronnie Vi of Brazos Valley Services. And we had Ronnie on today to talk about something that people don't normally think about when they think about air conditioning and their comfort in their home.
Okay, very good. And welcome to the program, Ronnie. Kind of give us an elevator speech on your company real quick.
Yeah, Kevin, it's great to be here. It is hot out there, the busy time of year for us. But we're our air conditioning company, we're a little bit different than a lot of them because we try to focus on the whole house when we're addressing people's comfort. There's a lot of things that go into having comfort in the house and their energy bill, and a lot of those things aren't necessarily directly connected to the air conditioner.
Yeah, the machine itself.
Exactly. The insulation, and we're going to talk a little bit about the insulation in the attic today. Infiltration, getting the amount of the way the house breathes, amount of heat and air that comes into the house. Those are just a couple of the things, and there's a lot of things. A lot of customers out there that we see, they've had new air conditioners installed, but their house is still not comfortable and they still have high electric bills.
Okay. So before we go on too deep in that, I do want to mention that Standard Supply, you can learn more about them at ssdhvac.com. But let's talk real quickly, kind of give us a panoramic overview of some things that people may not think about when it comes to keeping their house cool, but they certainly need to. Talk about that, Ronnie.
Well, one of the things that we wanted to talk about today was the attic. The attics here in this area, especially in this heat, we can see temperatures up. I've actually seen temperatures as high as 160 degrees, but, it's not uncommon to have 140 degrees in your attic, and that's directly affecting the performance of your house if you've got infiltration through your ceiling into the heat and into the conditioned space of the home. So that's one of the things we wanted to talk about. It's important that the attic breathe. It's important that we get some ventilation through that attic with attic fans and ventilation coming from the soffit. It's also important that we've got a good insulation barrier between your ceiling and your attic, between your conditioned space at your ceiling and the attic space.
Lance, go right ahead.
Yeah, Kevin, when we talk about the attic, I like to refer to it as the three shuns.
Three shuns.
The three shuns: radiation, insulation, and ventilation. And so we're going to talk about those three things today. And Ronnie's company does a really good job of addressing all of those things. And we wanted to start by talking about insulation. I just wanted to ask Ronnie, how much insulation should someone have in their house for proper efficiency?
Well, the 2012 Energy Code has been adopted in a lot of communities, Houston being one of those. They recommend R38, which is about 15 inches of fiberglass insulation, depending on the material. There's fiberglass, there's also cellulose, there's some other materials that you can use for insulation, but the most common one being the fiberglass insulation, blown-in insulation, and that's 15 inches of that.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So how would someone go about determining how much they have?
What you need to do is actually measure the amount of insulation that's in the attic. So get a tape measure.
Yeah.
Just get a tape measure and stick it down to where it touches the
deep
ceiling.
did it go?
How deep does it go? Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
So when we're talking about the attic, we also want to talk about ventilation. And, most people have, turbines or maybe a power vent on their roof or something like that, and they think they have good attic ventilation. But there's been a lot of new developments in products to ventilate the attic lately, and wondered if you might talk about those, Ronnie.
You bet. And any ventilation is better than none. So that those areas, the ridge vents and the turbines and everything, they do help some. But the ultimate nowadays is solar ventilation, solar attic fans. The solar attic fans not only do the best job, the ones that Standard Supply stock and that we install, those have come with a lifetime warranty. The other good thing about solar is because it's using renewable energy, it qualifies for a 30% tax credit.
Right. So
you got to love that.
You bet.
Absolutely. And these fans are actually powered by the sun's energy. They don't contribute to your electric bill while they're cooling your attic.
Got about 3 minutes left, so let's make sure we cover these key questions.
Yeah, we also wanted to talk about radiation, and most people don't really realize how radiant heat affects the temperature in their attic, but I was going to ask you, Kevin, what color shingles do most people have on their home?
They have dark shingles, which absorbs heat, and I've never understood that.
It's for looks. It's all for looks. It's actually
I
weathered.
always looked at it as that doesn't make sense. You're asking for more heat to go to your house. I never understood that. It was bizarre. Yeah. I figured that out in junior high school.
Yeah, weathered wood is the color of the most common shingle, which is a dark gray, and that's followed by black.
Black.
So
yeah.
we really like the look of our roofs more than we like the efficiency of our roofs, and that really causes a need to address radiant heat in the attic.
So it's really a heat magnet.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to ask Ronnie, how can someone go about solving that problem?
Basically, the blown-on paint or radiant barrier paint. And you've got a product out there, Standard Supply, that's a great product. That's probably the ultimate when you're talking about radiant barrier.
You literally paint the shingles?
You paint the underside of the decking in the attic. It's an aluminum paint product.
You can have your look.
Yeah, when you think about the example I like to use, you use a radiant barrier every time you purchase a breakfast taco. Mm-hmm. It's called aluminum foil.
Right.
And aluminum foil is a radiant barrier. And basically what you're doing with this product, the product is called Heat Block Ultra, and is aluminum paint that you spray on the underside of the roof decking, and it works as a radiant barrier to keep that radiant heat from the shingles out into the air as opposed to coming in to your attic. And there's a lot of other products that work well for radiant barrier. They're just very difficult to apply in an existing home. If you're doing new construction or remodeling, tearing off your roof, putting a new roof on, those products like Cool Deck, where the foil is actually attached to the decking, they work really well too. They're just not very applicable in an existing home.
Ronnie Vai's been our guest. He's over at BrazosValleyServices.com. That's BrazosValleyServices.com. And if you want the answer to the rest of these questions, you can definitely contact him over there. We encourage you to do that. And also, you can check out my friend Lance over there at Standard Supply, Lance Malone. Your website again.
SSDHVAC.com.
Yeah, very simple. And thanks to both you gentlemen.
Thank you, Kevin.
Great topic here today, and certainly couldn't be more timely. You chose a great week for doing it, and it's time for people to figure out how to keep cool. You can make all your money you want, which we try to talk about here on a business program, but containing your costs is a very big part of enjoying your cash flow. So I'm delighted to have Lance on to talk about this. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, when we come back, we're going to have much more for you. I do want to remind you the best content here, it can be shown up over there at usdailyreview.com. While there, like it on Facebook, follow it on Twitter.